That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry. It's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again. It's loaded and we're all ready for when we get to the first ad break. That's great. Any second now you should be getting a signal through from the studio. Stay on your toes, mate. It's election night, so all eyes are on this room. We do not want to get fired.
At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Oh,
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, CV makes me go out in postures.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson. for the
Good
National
evening.
Nightly
I'm
News.
Jeremy Donaldson. Good evening. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be the throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Honest Andy's totally independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleys wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Meghan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Bundercock. We'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic.
Right. Button 2 in 3, 2, 1. Lovely, mate. Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes. Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Lovely, mate.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance. The landslide victory, with an astonishing 81% of the popular vote, is the biggest election win in living memory. Advance appealed to voters up and down the country with their bold promises of permanent change. But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary...
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now, the clock look at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at a first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leader's acceptance.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy, I need you to fill after the episode.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late. People should ask him about the election.
Personally, I wouldn't try to confuse you with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you. I thought that was our little secret.
This is the story of
Doesn't
you
remember
and
anything.
how you're stupid.
I'm deeply
and
uncomfortable
asleep.
with your burgeoning
It's about
friendship.
how you were promised Elysian fields, but you ended up filleting Satan for the salt.
Wicked, we've made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programmes on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Alan James is right.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Alan James.
Thank you so much.
James is right.
10 seconds, everybody.
I'm Alan James.
Coming to a city near you.
Going in
Check with
5,
the press for dates
4,
and times.
3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Welcome back to Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
is here with the star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his name.
by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. By none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you. I do hope that being with you today is a long
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us?
Screen 2 now, screen 2. Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
It's called The Medicated.
The medicated,
It's called The
yes.
Medicated. Wow, what was that like?
Yes. Well,
Wow,
as
what was
I
that
said
like?
to Peter at the Wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know him? Peter Jensen. He's a wonderful chap.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely, now back to Thunder Twat.
I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. What a wild ride this has been. I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist. Absolutely
Was that a challenge
A
at all?
scientist.
Was
What
that a
exactly are you
challenge at
implying?
all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. A love, of course. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but I think it's grossed over. See who's counting.
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of
If I
you to
remember
mention it.
correctly.
But I really am not in it for the awards. Although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you? What is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan. And not easy to answer. And not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me. I'm afraid. And I will bleed. And I will bleed. That's how it feels. Often. Doesn't it? That's how it feels. Doesn't it? Bleeding. Doesn't it? Giving. Bleeding. Suffering. Giving. For one's audience. Suffering. For one's audience. I suppose in the end I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. I do it for the people that I inspire. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed, historic is the word. Indeed, historic. Difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. Difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look. Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
God, looks like Blunderclatch is really losing it in the studio. I'd love to hear what he's saying, but we can't find out now. We'll go to the Russia's room together once the broadcast's over.
I don't understand it. I don't understand.
It's not your fault.
You think I don't know that? You think I don't know that?
Criminals mustn't. Criminals mustn't.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan. Miss Flanagan.
I did it for you, baby. All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
We're gonna change the world.
Dr. Hemlock.
We're gonna change the world. You won't let listen to you.
Dr. Hemlock.
You told me,
Dr. Hemlock.
but I didn't listen.
Told me.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
You need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
You need to see this.
No, it's all too
Look
late.
at this. Look at this.
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
We can stop it all.
Yes, we could stop it all. Yes, we could stop it all. We have to ask ourselves.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in. Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button, or the spacebar on your keyboard, for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you've got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
Only 85 minutes from the coast, and with more than 2 areas of outstanding natural interest. Isn't it time your
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters, where the 2 leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Oh shit, he's pissed.
Shall I
Get ready to
start?
bleep.
Go for it, Pat.
Shall I start? Okay.
thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? Well, what a day.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people, you saw right through their shit.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. It makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put. But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbook.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know this sort of... Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Boring politics, then?
Is this some weird fever dream? Am I dying now or something?
Sign up you should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
You're not going for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Collection week by week and very.
When the programme's finished, you'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page shows you how well the broadcast went. Each sequence and an overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses, and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page. Right, this is an optional section for when you really want to understand what happened during the show. You've got a graph there showing you what the audience did. They're a fickle fucking bunch. And of course you can really drill into the details if you want to get better at making TV. I never came here, never once. Right, this is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get paid and how much wealth one's important tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks. Alright mate, welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Click on it now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Click on any one of them and hit load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
In a few moments, we'll be going live.
Right, click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Right, this is the rushes route. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Difference is you can mute any combination of them, so you can have a listen to the stuff you weren't allowed to show. Select the broadcast and give it a go, and when you're done listening to the backstage secrets, hit back. So I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have this, don't they? Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the Vision Mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the Vision Mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make That's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully. And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Snuggle hug.
That's the bastard.
Yeah, I wouldn't get one of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5,
Before
4,
all that,
3.
it's time to go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight's National
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Good evening. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future may hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guess if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, the stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snuggle. Sophia promises it will be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Sforsborg and Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's tape. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together, like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound that sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. And judging from the angle and velocity of that spray, it looks like Johnny may have been celebrating a little bit too much. I certainly wouldn't want to be his dry cleaner. And grievous bodily charm. With advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective, with more and more powers passing to the police, and less oversight. Are we using an advanced-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that, and Megan Wolf, a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't. No. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is
shamelessly self-promoting. Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most destructive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't.
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking
out of the wrong orifices.
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your positions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research in the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates. Frankenscience and opiates. Like opiates. See?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals, they're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you, Alan?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Well, of course, Katie.
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating Law and Order before Meghan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately I can't understand it for you.
You should be scared.
There must be something
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
I don't want to upset you, but you should weep for the world.
Right, mate, Christ, I'm absolutely fucking flying, I tell you. How's it going, actually? Fuck it, I don't care, I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. Alright, mate, see you later, bye!
10 seconds, everybody. Butcher is gonna the big one. Come to the butcher.
Is that still?
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desk.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
We can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problems. We need more support from ministers. We need more support from ministers. We need change at a structural level, Jeremy. At a structural level, darling.
It never is it? Albeit my mother's. It never is it?
Just hang on. Just hang. The problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
Hello, Mr.
We
Donaldson.
need.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving? Can I have a moment to
Yes,
tell my
I
husband I'm leaving?
totally understand. Yes. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Gregory Judge. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob? Do you think there's a problem?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife or cosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, hang on a moment. Jeremy, a bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
I'm sorry, darling. I was saying the batters.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back to Jeremy Donaldson?
Clive, you know it's Wednesday. Can't you go back in your gibbet space?
And whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of this... Hold on just a moment.
Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty boy. Mummy said
Clive, I am not having this again.
Clive, I am not having this again. Naughty, you beast, Clive.
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there. Thank you, Bob. We're locking down the police's position on morality force. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing a swap. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony. Many happy returns, Tony.
Call me Titwank, Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony? Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris, Little Chris, Big Chris, and Vampire Chris. Little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
One sec, love. Tony's on the news. One sec, love. Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. Just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It's It seems like we've caught you at a bad time. It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal there, Tony. Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally waiting for 2 seconds. How does this happen, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there, Rick. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to gain a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back. Don't go away after these messages.
We'll be back. 1 minute back, everybody.
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the Vision Mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't know, you won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip, when the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
You can be sure that your children will be well equipped to march towards progress.
Come back. How hard can it be?
There's nothing better than
10 seconds, everybody.
the advanced go.
We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolfe, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle.
I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. Put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, Coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, Coach.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. Run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago, a letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
How? How did you react?
I also threw it in the bin.
How did you react?
But then, Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't
usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic, mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this old democracy thing. Let's have a go with this old democracy thing. And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So let's have a look at a short section of Hey Friendship.
Dear Diary. Dear Diary. I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Another day of tears. Another day of fears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh, heavens
hi,
no!
Gary.
It's Gary the Fist!
Oh, heavens no!
Gary the Fist! Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year? Going somewhere,
Great.
little first
I've been
year?
looking for some poor victim to bully all morning, but will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. Excuse me, it's my favourite subject. I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going for fuck's sake.
Right.
Keep going for.
Maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money. Now,
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist. Not today.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? What do you mean not today? My arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
My arm's free, coach. Who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with two gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. That's where you're wrong. These are my two new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. And Blake owns a motorbike.
But I can't fight all three of you. And I don't have any friends of my own.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel laps. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist. But that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum, and for dinner he had to wait. Where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman? Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah.
stop now. Make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes!
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dawson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant!
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
And you want your house to look like a Christmas bomb has hit it.
Adverts loaded. I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show. Total pimp. My God, that weather looks nasty.
Oh, how's it going with Steve?
Why are all men such pricks?
That one, eh?
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his addiction.
No.
Sorry, are you saying he chose his imaginary friend in the sky over you?
I don't know why I talk to you.
You're probably just a really awful date.
10 seconds, everybody. Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Pricks. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
Critics have been quick to dismiss the graffiti as a publicity stunt, or an act of frustration by a tiny disorganised group of those who will never, under any circumstances, be content.
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
Without enough engineers to successfully fix their craft, the team seem likely to attempt to farm the cavern's ecosystem while they wait for rescue from above ground. I think I'll stick to risotto, Jeremy.
Bloodbath avoided. As the last Mr. Snugglehogs is found and destroyed, we ask, how could we have been so blind?
Fortunately, this station wisely chose not to advertise Mr. Snugglehugs, and the subsequent disappointing sales turned out to be a miracle, as only 7 children were horribly injured by the lethal toy. How much worse could it have been? Thankfully, we'll never know.
Julia Salisbury, who mobilised numerous government resources to recall the product immediately after the first blindings, said today that the new advance mark, which must be earned by all new products, will be a 100% ironclad guarantee of safety and quality.
Fallen angel? Notorious addict Johnny Hamsleeve seems to have reached a new low in his battle with booze, as this recent picture reveals.
Johnny's star certainly lacks its former glow these days, with public concern over his mental and physical health growing at an alarming rate.
Since being banned from the national squad earlier this year after urinating on a referee during a friendly against East Grinchley, things seem to have gone from bad to worse for Hamsleeves.
Is his once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are sceptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
When only a Flard will do, you need the Flardmaster 5000. That's the slogan accompanying the announcement that has rocked the construction industry this morning. The breakthrough device for aiding in installation is sure to change the way we see the humble Flard.
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon live at the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's
National Nightly News. But first tonight, while Advance is certainly proving popular with the majority of the country, who've seen their wealth and standards of living increase considerably, for some, the transition has not been as pleasant.
That's right, Megan. The formerly aristocratic members of our society have had to make major adjustments to come to terms with the new regime.
Robin Short is in suburbia investigating rumours that these previously privileged people may be planning some kind of protest. Robin?
Thanks, Megan. I'm here in Moderate Hatchings to talk to Wentworth and Penelope Somerset Bentley, who were relocated to the house you see behind me after Advance passed the Assets and Wealth Act on their first day in office. Tell me, how are you settling into your new lives?
Well, quite frankly, Robin, we're not settling in at all. Our neighbours are whitewatters.
It's simply untenable. I hope you'll forgive my language, but it's as steaming as a Wednesday hatch basket with too much spatting.
Steady now, Penelope. Sorry, Robin, my sister's under a lot of pressure. She had to dress herself this morning and she still hasn't quite recovered, Robin.
My goodness, that must have been quite a shock.
She really struggles with ribbons, Robin.
Well, at least you've been rehoused in a nice big house.
Big house? This grubby little dadispatch only has one staircase.
And the breakfast room and the dining room in the same bloody place. Imagine that, having all one's grub in one room. One room, Robin.
So what would you say to the people that feel that your family has had it far too easy for far too long, and that these redistributions are both fair and just?
I hardly think we've had it easy for fussle's sake. Only one of our swimming pools was even heated.
But realistically, what can you do?
Well, you've asked the right waddy question, Robin.
Thank you, Wentworth. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason.
I think our toilet butler was from Swinstead. Dear George. Oh, I wonder what happened to him.
Yes.
I remember! Daddy tried to shoot him in the buttocks and he ran off into the woods.
Oh, good times.
Oh, that's probably my last happy memory, Robin.
Tragic, but what can you do?
We will rise and rebel. We wage war on our revolting rulers with righteous words and rebellious writings. Our best guess in our quest for redress is to divest our breasts in an undressed bare chest protest.
Oh, what's that?
Daddy! Daddy, it's
Daddy!
something!
Please don't do that. We can't show this on the news.
Right, you buggers! Tilly-ho! Tilly! Get the dog!
Tilly's our mummy. She's proper cracked off too.
Well, at least you are showing some shame.
Free at last! Oh! Somerset Bentley, glad to meet you. See, the protest has started already. Nice sharp work, boy.
Thanks, Daddy.
He gets that from me, you know.
But And forgive me, what are you trying to achieve here?
We just want to be fucking well heard. That's all.
Language, Penelope. We are nude, not rude.
Sorry, Daddy.
We want the world to realise we won't roll over and run away. We will revolt. We will rise again.
Yes, we bloody well will. Stuff and pip up.
Are you okay?
Shut up and get your
Well, Jeremy, Megan, as this embryonic protest movement takes one of the topics, it's back here in the studio. I'm Robin Short, struggling surreptitiously in moderate hatchings.
Thanks, Robin. Well, that's certainly a story we want to be keeping an eye on, eh, Megan?
Speak for yourself there, Jeremy, but I've seen enough sharp work to last me a lifetime.
I'm sure you have. But can a naked protest movement ever really catch on? It doesn't seem like the way we do things in this country.
But as I'm sure you're aware, Jeremy, this country is becoming a very different place. This country
Yes,
is
but
becoming a very
seriously,
different place.
who's going to run around naked in our weather?
Hopefully not you, Jeremy.
Yes, well, there wouldn't be enough canvas for the slogans.
When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages. We'll be back.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm busting.
Oh. Do you suffer from benign prostate enlargement?
She's funny.
Yes, I know.
I'm Tommy the Fingernail
Yes,
Harris,
very
sporting
good.
legend.
She wants
I've got
your
it
job.
4 world
She wants it.
championships, 2
Why is it
cars,
raining on my desk?
a bidet, and an enlarged prostate.
Alex, Bozeman, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the sports board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump! We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please. Contestants in, please. And the winner of the first annual of the Sports Board Championship is
everyone! Okay, the ref has decreed once again a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals, their 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon, looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all I have to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary fight.
Historic Sports Board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
And when we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages. That's coming up after...
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone struck me.
What?
Fucking microphone just struck me. Where's that sound guy?
Are you scared of a long, painful decline in your final years?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Now you.
Postman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance. The storm is playing havoc with the electrics, and you might notice the odd spark. Nothing to worry about. Happens all the time. Dama last year, but he was up and at 'em the next day. Anyway, our compensation package is parallel to none. Good luck. Bozeman out.
Sorry about all these buckets. We seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there.
We'll look into it, Minister. It's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolfe, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolfe.
That's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet.
Are carried out efficiently and compassionately.
You'll see, Dale.
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Cheeky cat.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
No, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy.
But yes, it does seem there are still some people we haven't been able to help. There are still some people we haven't been able to help.
Whinges most,
People who get to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open. But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have
when we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make. They were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan. Let me ask you a question.
It's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you. I mean, really scares you.
It's death, Pet. It's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that Advance have cured death?
Yeah, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera? Which is me close-up camera? When I was 13, my mum came and got me from school. He had to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning. So We'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. We were all frail. Pale. I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope. 3 days later, we were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half time. It was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. You could see it was destroying me, man, when he slowly faded away, and he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The Health Service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline.
Just given me electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Are you still on the air, Peter?
Yes. Sorry. My apologies.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sapped again. Can I get a little bit of help here?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
That one was massive. Right, no, that one was massive. Coming off. No.
That the older generation might feel somewhat
coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... with a rutty twat.
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
Don't get yourself sorted out. We're launching a government information film tonight to tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. You really do move at a breathless pace. You've yet to be an officer here.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name is Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night. If you can.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
So they just...
The same time.
I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I saw the leak.
broadcast screen. Just look at it. That's all we've been putting out since you went down. You have to fix it, now. Look left, Alex, out the window. See? They're all over it, the little bastards. Turn on the Snuggles apple by pushing the big red button and it'll deal with them for you. Excellent, Alex. We're broadcasting again. They must have built up while you were napping. Usually it only takes a tap on the button to clear one. Look, there's a lone one climbing now. Zap it off before it starts to mess up the signal again. Great. That seems to be the last of them. For now. Right. We're about a minute out. Get the adverts loaded up. I've got to deal with my pet idiot.
Well, in a few moments, we'll be going live to the National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on.
This has no credibility, Jenny.
On Channel 1 at 7 o'clock.
No professionalism.
What's wrong with this picture? And
It's not a mess. Everything is where it should be. It's ramshackle and characterful, and I expect you to know the difference.
That's followed at 8 p.m. by a
Of course Megan's place looked lovely, but I can't see it, can I?
Thanks, Jenny. How's lock-in with the boyfriend going?
Decided to take his chances on the wild streets, eh? Rather than endure another romantic comedy.
Electric Fever Dream, starring Lawrence Blunderclatch as Helen.
Jeremy, Jenny says your hair looks stupid.
Yes, I can hear her.
She says she's not talking to you.
Yes, I know, I can hear her.
Shall I count us in?
Make it so.
Okay, 10 seconds. Break a leg, everyone.
Preferably a furry one.
It's the National Weather Report.
5, 4, 3.
It's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Snugglefucked? It's been almost 5 weeks since all the Mrs. Snugglehugs toys woke up simultaneously in factories worldwide and began searching for their husbands. The Mr. Snugglehugs we had so short-sightedly destroyed. And now, as this photograph suggests, they may be changing tactics.
Built to surprisingly traditional gender stereotypes, the Mrs. Snugglehugs have been arming themselves with a variety of household implements. All the more reason to make sure that cat flap is taped up good and tight.
Armed with blunt weapons, the Mrs. Snugglehugs are only ankle height and therefore able to be kicked away easily by young, healthy individuals. They do, however, pose a particular risk to the elderly or those with pre-existing medical conditions, like fatal bruise syndrome.
Going stir crazy, with no signs of Mrs. Snugglehugs' batteries running out, and the government lockdown now in its 31st day, domestic relationships across the country are taking some unexpected turns.
Dramatic reports are beginning to emerge of uncharacteristically bold behaviour in homes across the country. And we're not talking about the model planes that occupy so much time in the Donaldson household.
In response to a nationwide lack of toilet paper, which was of course raided by the Mrs. Snugglehugs to construct their vast hives, many of the nation's adults have turned to a more childish solution. Or at least that's their excuse. Or at least
Old dogs, new tricks. Bad boy celibacy Johnny Handsleeves announced today that he just can't wait until this lockdown's over so he can start his new career.
It is, of course, up to each of us to choose how we spend this brief spell of collective unconsciousness. But if this photograph, sent by the man himself, is anything to go by, Johnny seems to be making some interesting decisions with regard to his time at home.
Describing the lockdown as the rehab I never knew I needed, Handsleeves seems to decide to capitalise on that aggressive streak, announcing today that he intends to join the growing underground street fighting association when the lockdown ends, where he will, and I quote, take any wanker on for a fiver.
The shape of things to come. In their own version of a lockdown for more than 45 years now, the descendants of Doctors David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborg-Horgensvoord and their unfortunate team today managed to get a personal statement to the surface using flagellized imaging equipment.
Many of the Svorsborg-Horgens brood, as they've come to be known, have certainly captured the public imagination, with a recent vote naming Helvetica Svorsborg-Wongensvoord the most likely to survive a massive electric shock.
Helvetica Svorsborg-Wongensvoord here with a little update from Dante's Tate. This year is going to be our biggest ever harvest and autumn's just 2 weeks away. At least that's what we think. There's no real day or night down here and all the clocks broke a long time ago. But if our calculations are right, we think that for you up there it is Wednesday, the 4012th of January, or as you call it, Piss Mouth Day, or possibly Boxing Day for a bit out. So happy Piss Mouth! I hope you get all the presents you asked for left on the Piss Mouth fee. I'm hoping to complete my collection of rocks. See you in September. Helvetica out. See you in September.
It's hard to believe they've been down there so long now.
But as everyone knows, time moves differently underwater, Jeremy. That's why goldfish are so stupid.
That's right. And as anyone will tell you, the deeper the ball,
the thicker the goldfish.
There's no denying the logic of that. There's no denying the
Class
logic
war,
of that.
a worrying turn today for the formerly rich as ever more punishing measures are announced.
With the country becoming ever more hostile to the previously wealthy, those who manage to skip the country must be very grateful to the people who help them right now.
This programme has received reports of rich relatives on the run actually being filled with helium and released into the stratosphere. If those rich bastards think they're above the rest of us, why not give them a hand in getting there, Jeremy? Why not give them a hand in getting
And Advance speaks out. With the snuggle struggle proving a test to governments around the world, Advance HQ released a curious statement this afternoon.
In the accompanying release, they asked us to stress that they have been listening and that this should be taken as a response to how the people really feel.
We've certainly done our bit on this show to contribute to the political climate. But let's not forget, how we behave in our home lives is what really matters.
Let's hope it's not just me who filled out that questionnaire, Jeremy, or we're all in trouble.
Let's play that state. Let's play that state.
Good evening. In these difficult times, it's important that we all feel united, that we're all in this together, and for a short time we must bear significant change. To help myself come to terms with these tough but transitory times, I've written a list of things that are just as temporary as all of this discomfort. I thought it would be helpful to share my list with all of you. Christmas with the in-laws. Christmas with your child's school play. Your child's school play. Beauty. Youth. That phase you still don't talk about. Your New Year's resolution. Your husband's hairline. Your waistline. Your term in office. Your fleeting lifetime. And all of human endeavour. I hope my relatable list has allowed you to find reassurance, to know that just as these things pass us by, so too will this crisis. Together we will endure, as we always have. Thank you.
Delectable stuff.
Later tonight, Jeremy will be catching up with brave roving reporter Patrick Bannon, while I check in with two friends of the programme who find themselves stranded at opposite ends of the country.
And then, in part 3, there's going to be a quiz. Presumably because there's nothing more important going on that you might like to report on, if you were saying a news programme.
And in a moment, we'll both be asking Sophia Remington how such a trusted brand can have made such a terrible manufacturing mistake.
With what it describes here as help from popular psychic scientist Delia Lyle.
Oh, I like her.
Don't want you to do that.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News. And most importantly, who's to blame?
Joining us from her ranch in Arlingsfield Milkirky is the CEO of Remington's Fist, internationally respected business Bengali, Sophia Remington.
Thank you for having me, Megan. I'm a huge fan of your work.
And from a crystal healing laboratory, what I assume is a garage in Upper Lowington, inexplicably renowned psychic scientist, Dr. Delia Lywell. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us. Sorry, us?
Myself and the eminent professors.
Is that what you call the voices in your head? Is that what you call the voices in your
Attract
head?
dead scientists. I don't really know why.
The money?
They express themselves to me through ethereal algebra and quadratic predictions. It's all very technical.
No, it isn't.
I concur. Miss Remington, the entire Snugglehugs range will surely go down as the biggest public relations disaster in history, won't it?
Well, of course, that's one world record we would never have sought to claim.
What can you say at a time like this?
There is only one thing that can be said. I'm sorry. We're sorry. I'm sorry. From everyone here at Remington's Fist, but especially the dedicated inventors and world-beating engineers at Remington Toys, we are deeply, deeply sorry. Who could have predicted that letting a child's toy learn how to love could have such unforeseen consequences?
Mary Shelley?
We see you, Sophia Remington. We see you. You are preening by a metal vessel, and where you venture, you will see neither land nor sky.
Is that supposed to be the future?
Only the past is concrete. I remember being a child in my grandpa's workshop. When he made the first dancing hangman toy. He put it by my bed, and when I couldn't sleep, I'd wind it up and I'd let it go, and I'd watch that happy little execution wiggle and wave his tiny noose and dance before my eyes. Grandpa sold thousands of them. On the quiet, obviously. And he used the money he made to found Remington Toys, which is now just one small part of the global supermassive megacore that is Remington's Fist. Sadly, we lost Grandpappy along the way. He died in a fire at the preschool tobacco factory. Another one of his pet projects. But we never lost his spirit of invention.
Yes, I'm not entirely certain what your grandfather's offensive toys have to do with the current predicament.
The spirit of invention, Mr. Donaldson. The passion to create, to problem solve. And that is why I'm here today. To tell you about a brand new product we're launching simultaneously around the world from midnight tonight.
We said science! Science! We hear its song on the breeze. Its breath on the wind. Its fart under the covers.
How does she do it?
Well, please don't keep us in suspense any longer. Don't keep us in suspense.
Won't be my feature she's making up next.
Remington's Fist is proud to present Snuggle Traps. Safety and security in these dangerous times. Each box of Snuggle Traps contains 8 devices, all guaranteed to stop a Mrs. Snugglehug in its tracks. That's enough for a small lawn or 4 window boxes. And you want to know the best thing? They're only $129.99 a box. Now that is affordable peace of mind.
We see you, Jeremy Donaldson.
Not now, honey, I'm mid-pitch. The best thing about Snuggle Traps is that powered by next generation Flardinium batteries. So, however long the enemy lasts, these traps will not last.
We see you, Mr. Donaldson. You are screaming and yelling. You are screaming. Your friends and yelling. Oh, crying. Your friends. They fear you. And then fear you. You're gone. You're gone.
Oh my god, I just got chills. Did anyone else just get chills then?
I think it's more concerned. I think I'd be more concerned about these traps. Quickly, before we get to the break, these appear to be attractively repackaged landmines. Aren't they dangerous, say, to children?
Oh, hell yeah. These are not toys.
Oh, hell yeah.
But they're explosive fun.
Sophia Remington, Dr. Delia Lywell, thank you for joining us.
When we come back, we'll be taking a look at the situation across the country tonight.
Don't go away. We'll be back after these bandages. Was
that all right?
Oh yes, Doctor, that was exactly what we
Push yourself to your absolute limit.
Very nice there, young
Occupational Hazard, the exclusive
we should
new
make
collection.
an
Subscribe
interesting
today,
dinner guest.
and every week
Do you think
we'll send
so?
you a workplace
I think I'd rather
accident
spend the
you'll never
evening
forget.
shoving Delia's
Massive
sacred
triple
crystals up my
forward.
sceptical arsehole.
Points of gross negligence. This limited edition.
Hello, mate. It's Dave. You're not going to believe this, but I've decided to come home. Listen, I'll call you back at the next break and we can talk about how I get me job back. Cheers, Alex. See you, mate.
And your employer's complete lack of responsibility. Every issue comes complete with this companion magazine, containing the impotent good wishes of your colleagues and a non-specific corporate apology.
Yeah, well,
for a limited electroshock collection
exactly.
at your
You've
nearest
said it, I've
workstation
said it.
now. Every week
He
you'll
must
receive a
know, he's not
high-quality electric
stupid.
current of increasing voltage.
I just don't want it getting back to him that it came from us.
Until you lose consciousness.
Hey,
Don't miss this
no,
shocking
Jenny.
offer. It
You're not
really is
backing
the
out on me
prime
now.
of a lifetime.
We're in this together.
Roll the dice with your future now, and we'll send you this card from HR.
You're on the
Absolutely
loop.
free. That's right.
Got no
free.
idea how old he is.
Occupational hazard.
40?
The only regular threat to your health.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
both completely avoidable
Okay, coming
and
back.
ever present.
In 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Root. Now it's time to take a trip around the country to hear how the lockdown might impact the nation from some friendly faces. Joining me are respected academic Katie Brightman and author of Alan James's Kites, Alan James. Thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Megan.
Thanks,
It's a
Megan.
pleasure. Thanks for
It
having
really
me.
is a pleasure, Katie. I enjoyed our heated encounter.
I wish I could say the same.
So first off, Katie, how are you coping?
I'm holding up
how are you
okay.
coping?
The lockdown directive was so sudden that, like many people, I haven't been able to get home.
Oh no, what happened?
I was staying at a hotel after an international policy hotel, and we had a particularly heavy night out. You know what economists are like.
Notoriously hate splitting the bill.
And I overslept, and as you can imagine, I've been here ever since. But there are certainly people much worse off than me.
Exactly. My tour has been cancelled indefinitely, and I've had to refund every single ticket, even the cheap seats.
Oh, Alan, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh,
Yeah.
Alan, I'm so sorry
People
to
are being
hear
quite
that.
rude about it. They don't seem to realise they've already spent it filling the beach house with beef.
The crisis claims yet another victim.
So, this is just a reminder that my book, Alan James's Right, is now available in paperback.
Unbelievable.
What was that?
Unbelievable. You're unbelievable. You.
So, Katie, how do you think this might affect the economy? Should we be worried?
Very, Megan. Not to sound dramatic, but this could be catastrophic. Unemployment has skyrocketed, and frankly, it will be a miracle if a lot of businesses can survive this.
There you go, scaremongering again, spreading this latest liberal hoax. That's what they want. They want us quiet. They want us compliant. And they want us inside.
A hoax? How on earth can you say that, Alan?
Well, I haven't actually seen one of these supposed toys. Have you?
Well, no, but...
Did you know 3,000 people die every year from regular toys? That's a lot of people. And this is no different. You're just as likely to be hunted down by a yo-yo or a tennis racket.
He makes an excellent and persuasive point, Katie.
Don't listen to her, Katie. The press are the enemy of truth.
She's agreeing with you, Alan, you absolute shit. She's agreeing with you, Alan, you absolute...
Alan, are you now recanting your statement that these toys aren't dangerous?
People are saying they're just like normal toys, and that simply isn't true. Corrupt media lies.
And Katie, how do you respond to Alan's claims that Mrs. Snugglehugs might be dangerous after all?
I guess I'm agreeing with him.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate your support. A lot of folks are saying this Mrs. Snugglehug situation will all blow over, but it won't.
Yes, right, exactly. We need decisive action from the government. We need huge financial support to protect our workers and our businesses. We need to support the vulnerable, and we need
to repent. Exactly right, Katie. We brought it on ourselves with all our liberal indulgences like cake and healthcare. We need to act now and begin sacrificing our firstborns, or to push a beloved family pet.
Absolutely, Alan. If we can all successfully come together as a community and perform the ritual, hopefully we will appease the great ancient. Katie, could it be any worse?
Luckily, over the past few years under Advance, they've invested heavily into health, so the system can actually bear the strain.
Is it lucky that the Llama Lords have unleashed a horde of man-made monsters on its own people to conceal the enemy within?
Will you just stop for 5 fucking seconds?
The Global Alliance of Fish People are amassing an army to kidnap
That's you. That's what you sound like. That's you. That's what you sound like.
But I don't sound like that.
Yes, you do.
I don't
You
sound
do,
like that.
Alan. You do
Yes,
sound
you
like
do.
that.
And that's why no one wants to be your friend. And that's why no
I've
one
got
wants to be
loads
your
of
friend.
friends.
No, you haven't.
I've got loads of friends.
You do,
No, you
Alan.
haven't. Yes, stop lying, Alan. Yes,
Not
stop
lying.
Alan.
You are.
Oh, good one.
Not lying. You are.
Oh, good one.
Well, I'm telling.
Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. Some real food for thought there from two of the territory's leading minds. Any moment now, I'll be heading over to Jeremy, who is going to be bringing us an up-to-the-minute report of the status of the nation. Over to you, Jeremy.
Thank you for what I'm sure was a reasonable debate, which really contributed to the national conversation. Next, out on the streets, someone who's always doing exactly that. It's Patrick Bannon. Are you there, Patrick?
Hello, Jeremy. Yes, hello. I'm here. Live. Apologies for the quality of the broadcast today. Couldn't find any cameramen or women brave enough to come and join me, so I'm out here on my own.
And can you tell us what it's like out there?
As you can see behind me, the streets are currently completely deserted. And my question, Jeremy, is just how long? I mean, could there be danger lurking just around the corner, waiting to end the fledgling career of this young, promising journalist before his full potential is even realised? Will he die, underappreciated by management, and frankly, if you ask me, very, very much underpaid?
I don't think there's any danger of that, Patrick. What's that on your jacket there? What's that on your jacket there?
What I've done here is made a snuggle-proof jacket, Jeremy. The network didn't bother sending me any PPE, so I've been forced to improvise. In fact, showing the sort of resourcefulness that would make me an ideal candidate for, I don't know, for example, an anchor position starting whenever they'd like.
From your point of view, Patrick, just how safe are our streets?
Not safe at all, Jeremy, not safe at all. I'd recommend people staying inside, following government advice and not putting themselves at any risk at all. Unless, of course, like me, it's for groundbreaking journalism reasons.
And just where are you, Patrick?
I'm in the street, on the street.
Which street?
Which street? I think I'm struggling to hear you, actually, Jeremy, there.
Which street? Which street are you on? Which street am I on?
Oh, God. I'm just looking for a sign. I'm on Bannon Avenue.
Bannon Avenue? Bannon Avenue?
Yep.
Bannon Avenue.
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. Yeah, I'm on Bannon Avenue on the sign. It says there.
Like Patrick Bannon? Like Patrick Bannon?
That is like, that's strange, that's a weird sign. That is like, what's going on there?
Where are you really?
What's going on there?
Where are you really?
I'm on Bannon. Alright, fine, I'm not on Bannon Avenue. Alright, fine, I'm not home, to be honest. Alright, fine. Well, I'm in my bathroom technically, but you know, I couldn't face it, to be honest, mate. It's, you know, it's terrible out there. I don't want to go outside. They're everywhere. I'm sorry for lying. They're everywhere.
We don't expect any less of you, Patrick. We don't expect any less of you, Patrick.
You hear that sound? You hear that sound?
I can, yes. I'm no expert, Patrick, but it sounds unmistakably like a tiny fist tapping on your door there. A tiny fist tapping on your door there.
Oh, fuck, Jeremy, shit, no! Oh, bollocks, Jeremy.
Perhaps there's a small queue of tiny fists, each wielding a different gendered household implement, ready to bash in the heads of blind little roving reporters.
You're lying, aren't you? Oh, you're lying, aren't you? Okay, fucking listen to me, you bastards! If you're out there, listen to me, you just... Piss off, you little fucking snuggle fuck! Piss off, I'm too talented to die! I'm too talented to die! Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Don't worry, Patrick. I'd say you've got a few seconds before they break their way in there and finish you off. What do you see, Patrick? What do you see, Patrick? Thank you, Patrick, for that report. Showing the nation, and more importantly, management, just where you belong. It's time for another break, but when we come back, we'll be happy to take your mind off the world for a little while, and who knows, maybe even bring you a few smiles. Join us after this. Join us. You're damn right. Yeah, I had them delivered. Yes, to Bannon Avenue.
Good morning, this is Bozeman. Welcome to Part 1.
Dave here. I'm running into a few problems getting back, although not as bad as yours. Looks like you've got one loose in the studio. Whack it on the head if
ahead. People are going to start panic buying. Key products to consider are those that begin with the letters R, D, and H. Also, items that are mauve. Work on you. Maybe you'd do better if you lived under the sea, like a fish. Take up a hobby. Why not repeatedly tidy your flat? Put on 15 pounds or gaze at the ceiling and cry. Make sure to avoid
self-aware consumer product
at all costs.
Self-aware consumer product
Is dangerous and will kill and or maim and or annoy you. Don't worry though. Look. Ah, they're so lovely. Look at their little faces. And finally, during this time, you may find yourself accidentally locked down with colleagues, third-tier friends, radishes, or distant relatives. So here's a handy list of excuses for avoiding contact with them. I'm sorry I've become a gas.
No, I'm not.
Children in a trench coat.
I'm not going to.
I'm supposed to be officiating my dog's
I don't have to.
I've recently converted to a new religion.
No, you're being a child.
You exist. If you think of any
I'm not.
let me know, and I will add
I'm not.
return from my time.
I'm not.
Peace out, bitches.
No. Oh. 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to the National Nightly. Welcome back anyway. We know isolation isn't easy, so finally tonight we have something a bit different for you. Even though some people find it's not our job to entertain the public with absolute nonsense, other, more important people overrule those people. So it's time to find out who will National Nightly win, and who will National Nightly lose. So, how do we play? Well, joining me is a man who knows all about playing. It's Tommy Harris. Hello, Tommy.
All right, Johnny.
Hello, Tommy.
It's good to see you, Johnny.
And how are you finding the lockdown, Tommy?
What do you mean
lockdown, Tommy?
The
enforced isolation of everyone in the country.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah, I think I heard
You're
about
in
that.
bed, Tommy.
Yeah, you called during nap time,
Tommy.
Yeah,
of course, that's my fault. So, why don't you tell us how the game is played?
Well, it's pretty simple, Jeremy. It's sausage. I'm going to ask contestants for around the territory 3 questions about what else. 3 questions about what else, and those people are going to get a chance to win a very special prize.
And what are they playing for, Tommy?
Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Jeremy.
Oh.
Jeremy. Thank you. This.
Is that? What is that?
It's my athletic support, Jeremy. It's my athletic support. But I've signed it. So.
Oh, well then. What a fantastic prize. Well then.
Have we got anybody waiting to win this once in a lifetime prize, Jeremy?
I believe we have Angie on the line. How do you feel about winning this man's old pants, Angie?
I've never been so excited, Jeremy. And can I just say, Jeremy, I love you. Can I just say, both of you, I love you.
Well, you've said it now, haven't you?
Angie,
you've said it now, haven't
love
you?
In a way. Tell us about yourself, Angie. Tell us about yourself,
What can I say? My name is Angie. Always has been. I'm a human woman. And my dental hygiene has been described as acceptable.
Brilliant! Right, well, shall we get these shambles on the way?
Absolutely.
Shall we get these
Can I
shambles on
get
the
30
way?
seconds on the clock, please? Can I get 30 seconds on the
We
clock?
haven't got a clock.
Yeah, I did ask for a
We
clock.
haven't got a clock.
So I did ask for a clock.
Why don't you start? And I'll stop you when it inevitably becomes unbearable to watch.
I love it. All right. Here we go. Time starts. Here we go. Now. Question 1. When is my birthday? Is my
The
birthday?
13th of August at 7:19 a.m.
That is absolutely correct. Question 2. What? I said what is my favourite colour? Is my favourite
Praline
colour?
4. Crushed praline
Correct.
4.
The colour of my nipples. And finally, Angie dear, what is my star sign? What is my
That's a trick
star
question.
sign?
You were born outside of the human understanding of the cosmos.
Unbelievable. That is correct. Stop the clock. That is correct.
Wow, that really was tough to watch. How did you do, Tommy?
Well,
How did
Angie,
you
my
do,
love,
Tommy?
you've got every single question right. Which of course means you lose and win absolutely nothing. Thanks for playing, Angie. Bye. Do we have another contestant on the line? Do we have another Jellybean on the line?
We do indeed. We should have Sonia Hartleach. Are you there, Sonia?
Of
course
Are
I
you
am,
there,
Jamie,
Sonia?
darling.
Thank you for being here, Sonia. Thank you for being here, Sonia.
Tommy!
Let me guess, you work in theatre, don't you? Let me guess,
Is it
you
that
work in theatre,
obvious?
don't you?
What gave it away? Was it the glamour or poise? Was it the glamour?
It certainly wasn't your inherent sense of humility.
Tell us about yourself, Sonia. Tell us about
Oh,
yourself,
well,
Sonia.
if you must play this game, I am a theatrical agent. I represent the likes of Rudy Beefman, Samuel Coffee Cup, and Jodie Carpetburn, amongst others.
And how's the lockdown affected you, Sonia? How's the
Well,
lockdown
they
affected
may
you, Sonia?
have closed the theatres, shut the studios, and boarded the cinemas, but they won't get me that easily.
How are you managing without any work? Are you managing
Due to
without
a
any
savvy
work?
clause in all of my artist contracts, I am able to claim my 15% from their unemployment benefit.
Wow, that certainly is sharp. That certainly
Standard
is
stuff, standard
sharp.
stuff.
And can I ask, where are you speaking to us from?
Well, I work from home, you know, to keep costs down.
And who's this? And who's this?
You know, when they gave the order, I was actually mid-meeting with a client, so we've been isolated together.
No fucking no way!
What the fucking fuck?
Is that Tommy Harris? I'm a huge fan. Can I just tell you how bloody brilliant you are?
Actually, Jeff, we're about to play a game, aren't we, Tommy? Jeff,
We've
we're
got
about to
time,
play a
we've got
game,
time.
aren't we, Tommy?
If it's not too bold, I think I am in love with you, Mr. Harris.
No, it's not too bold. That is right. No, it's not too
Hey,
bold.
I'd love to show you some of my stuff. I've been working on some new shit.
Well, at least you're already aware.
During
Well, at least you're already
lockdown,
aware.
we've been workshopping some of Jeff's ideas for much younger children, haven't we?
People still let you near their children, do they?
Yeah, that's
People still
right.
let you near
Yeah,
their children, do they?
I've been developing some shows for younger children.
Well, we'd love to see it, wouldn't we, Gerbil? We'd love to see it, wouldn't we,
Absolutely
Gerbil?
dying to. Absolutely
Right, so
dying to.
what do kids love? What do kids
Timely just put payments from their absent fathers.
Shallow and overproduced musical numbers.
That's
Shallow and
right.
overproduced musical numbers.
Animals! So, I'm trying to address the things that kids need to know, but through a medium that they'll understand. Do you understand?
I think
you understand?
yes. I think so. Yes.
Jeff's one of my best
yes.
clients, aren't you?
I
One
am.
of my
Yeah,
best
yeah.
clients, aren't
So,
you?
the first one we've been working on is called The King of the Jungle's Mortgage Repayments. It's about a lion who's having problems with his interest rate. A lion who's having problems with his
I
interest
see.
rate.
Does he have a broker?
He does. Yes,
Does
yes.
he have
He's
a
a
broker?
porcupine. He does. Do you know that?
Well, your work is universal, darling. It speaks to people.
I'm going to say something to you, mate. I'm going to say something to you, mate.
Oh, the bear,
Oh,
you
yes,
bear.
yes, 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 right. This one is much better. So, this one tells the tale of Mr. Bear. Now, Mr. Bear is a very sad bear, because all of the other bears don't think that he'll amount to much, and they tell him that his plays are lazy and derivative.
I think you're onto something there.
Now, Mr. Bear
think
is
you're onto
a
something there.
tragic figure. Picture this. He's at his lowest ebb. The trees are closing in. He can't even face his salmon, can he? But then he meets someone that will change his life forever.
This is fucking gripping.
That's right.
Fucking
He
gripping.
meets a wise, old octopus who takes him under his wing and says, "No, Mr. Bear, don't be sad. You're not like all the other bears. You have this ambition and these dreams."
Such fucking dreams.
I think I love you, Gia. I think I love you,
What
Gia.
you need to do, Mr. Bear, says the octopus, probably doing an 8-armed gesture or something.
What you need to do to find happiness in this crazy old forest is you need to set yourself more realistic goals. It's called Mr. Bear Lowers His Expectations. Mr. Bear lowers his expectations.
You really have taken yourself to new depths. You really have taken yourself. What do you want children to take away from this?
Oh,
What
fuck
do you want
you.
children to take away from this? What?
I said a more realistic worldview. I said a more
All right,
realistic
Jamboree.
worldview.
It's Jeffrey.
Jamboree?
My name is Jeffrey Donington.
No,
My name is
stop.
Jeffrey
How does it
Darlington.
end? We need to know how it ends. We
Well,
need to know
all
how
the
it ends.
animals learn a thing or two about inevitable mediocrity.
And Mr. Bear settles down near to his parents' cave, stops trying to make his band happen, and he goes into bear telemarketing.
Becomes a bear maths teacher.
Oh, and we end.
Bear maths teacher.
We end on a big musical number. Oh, there's dancing. It's very repetitive, so it's catchy but not too challenging. Well, if you like, I could go and get my boombox.
Yeah, I might be able to. Hang on. Can we get Angie back? I might be able to.
Why not? The more the merrier, as they say at orgies. The more the merrier, as they say at orgies.
Right, I'll just fill then, shall I? Coming up in a moment, it's the world premiere that nobody saw coming. Or wanted. At all. Or wanted. I can only apologise in advance for what we're all about to endure.
Where's the button on this?
Endure.
Where's the button on?
Well, there's all sorts of creatures down Dangly Doodle Farm. Like wise old Mr. Octopus with way too many arms. Mr. Pig and Mr. Cow, they're always in good mood. But that's 'cause they don't know they'll soon be sliced up into food. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to turn into despair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your dreams go to die. Mr. Raccoon wants to go to the moon. He'll end up as a bus driver soon. Mr. Porcupine thinks he'll read the news at 9. He'll end up as a janitor who stinks of turpentine. Please do not applaud, I'm a massive fraud. Shacked up with the agent while the wife thinks I'm abroad.
You said you were done.
Oh, I say that to everyone. Sometimes when I'm tipsy, me and Angela still have fun. Mr. Bear, I don't even care. Sonia takes it up the bum and shaves her pubic hair. Mr. Bear,
That's an overshare. That was for your birthday and you're never going back there.
Mr. Bear, I'm in disrepair. Didn't check my prostate, now it started sprouting air.
Mr. Bear, I have private health care, 90 pairs of shoes and 30 different types of cookware.
Mr. Bear, I feel laissez-faire. Maybe when the lockdown lifts, I'll hit on the au pair.
Mr. Bear, I don't mean to swear, but I'll give a fucking nickel for a lock of Johnny's hair.
Mr. Bear, what a lovely chair. Mr. Bear, you've got the news caught up in your hair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? Mr. Bear, Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's a hat entirely made of avocado pear. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That is a cutlery pie. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the sound a mushroom makes opening a deck chair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That is a suit for a fly. That is a goat in a tie. That is a dream when you fry.
Thank you, everyone. What a truly wonderful way to end the show. What a truly wonderful way to end the show. It's not been easy, but God, you're not listening to me, are you, Alex? You're not listening to me, are you, Alex? Alex? Let me guess work. Of course, let me guess work. Don't worry, I won't be a distraction for long. Don't worry, I won't be a distraction for long. I'm going, Alex. I'm going. I'm taking Susie and we're staying at Chris's for a while. Charlie can stay with you since he's the only one of us you treat with any compassion. He's the only one of us you treat with any compassion. I just need to think. I'm sick of Susie and I being last on your list. Your last priority. Stop thinking about work for 5 fucking seconds. Go on, press that button. Press that button and see what happens. In 3, 2, 1.
children
you always cared
are
about
our future.
Fucking job more than me.
Advance knows this.
I'm done
and
with
we're
you.
making sure we get to them while they're young.
In fact, I never loved you.
The
You meant
Advanced Go-Getters
nothing
initiative
to me, just
will
like
put
Susie
your
and I clearly mean nothing to you. And oh yeah, I'm seeing someone else, and we laugh at you. The kids will forget all about you soon enough. The sooner the better. Goodbye, Alex. Alex?
Wake up!
Alex?
Wake up! Wake up, Alex! Alex! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!